Welcome to Babylon 5 for the first time, not a Star Trek podcast. My name is Jeff Akin.
And I'm Brent Allen. You know, Jeff and I are two veteran Star Trek nerds that podcasted a bunch. And we're like, hey, you know what? We got all this cool podcasting equipment. And there's this other show out here we've never watched that we know that we're better than. So why don't we do a podcast over there and show just how much better we are than that? And turns out we're wrong because Babylon 5 was so freaking awesome. We couldn't stop with Sleeping in Light. We had to keep going with the movies and Crusade, and now the movies again for the first time.
And like we've done our whole journey through Babylon 5, we're going to watch this through the lens of pulling out those incredible messages, those mirrors to society that J. Michael Straczynski has set up for us to learn from. But we call them sci-fi messages, right? We call those things sci-fi messages. They're not Star Trek messages because, Brent, I don't know if you realize this or not, we're not a Star Trek podcast.
Literally in the title. All right, let's do that. Hey, listen, if you guys are joining us for the very first time, welcome. You're amazing. Every episode is somebody's first episode. The way this works is Jeff and I are getting ready to watch the episode. The movie. We're getting ready to watch the movie. We haven't watched it before now, taking notes and coming ready to talk about it. No. We're going to watch it right now. If you're hanging out with us on YouTube, stick around because you guys are going to get, if you're watching us on YouTube, stick around because you guys are going to get our reactions to this film as it takes place. If you'd like to see the full unedited reaction, you can head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/Babylon5First. That's the number 5 and the word first.
And if you're listening to us on a podcasting app, hello, welcome. We love that you're here. We'll meet you on the other side where we're going to share our first-time thoughts, and we're going to talk about the messages that we uncover. Brent, let's look for the lost tales.
Let's do it.
There she is.
She looks a little dingy, a little
Very
dirty.
dark.
Yeah.
2281.
Okay, stop, Jeff, stop.
Oh!
Okay, because I was just getting ready to ask, where does that place us in the timeline? Apparently, this is the end of Sleeping in Light.
Yep, there you go.
I'm assuming this is the end of Sleeping in Light.
JMS is there's little, you can almost see that little thing flying away from it. That's
because we didn't know when we watched the last movie, but we have since found out that movie was prior to Crusade, to the start of Crusade, and would have overlapped with Crusade a little bit. So this one, 2281, I think it said, during Sleeping Light. Okay, let's go. Holy cow.
Wow. Oh my God, that looks good. Oh!
Okay.
It's come a long way since
that's a better render. That's a better render than Sleeping in Light.
Leave a place. Part of it goes with us. And part of
we're backwards.
Our voices will linger.
Is that Babylon 5-4 or Babylon 4?
No,
that's 5. We're just going into the front of it.
Oh. I have like little chills. It feels so good to see those people. Oh, look at this.
Look at Veer. I love Veer. Oh,
he's the evil reptile guy.
Lanier and Delenn.
Remember that guy?
Him. I am so amped for this right now.
Same.
You could not have put in a better opening to draw someone like us in than what that just did. Holy Florgan cow.
What I love so much is if we go back to season 5 and the opening theme, it took us forward in time, right? Like it started back, at season 1, and so it begins, and we got the voiceover and we got these scenes. This starts at the back and then takes us backwards, and it ultimately all meets at the same place. Like this is, and just the graphics they used, incredible.
We just for the record, we did not see Ivanova in that group. I saw Lochely, but we did not see Ivanova, for the record. Okay.
Get out of my head!
Are they on the Leandra?
That looks like telepath stuff gone wrong.
That pissed me off if they're just like, we're going to go back and tell the story of the Leandra.
Commanding Officer Babylon 5. Oh yes, we're getting ready for the big celebration party for the 10th anniversary of the Interstellar
Hello,
Alliance.
green screen.
President Sheridan himself is coming in from Minbar to be here for it. So things are a bit
Is Bruce in this
than
one?
Usual, which is saying something.
What if they're all in it?
Well, please, this way.
The green screen's come a long way since in the beginning. Like, that looked awful.
That we're meeting here in my quarters. I felt it best to keep this away from the crew.
It should. It's been like over a decade.
Specializes in private conversations.
Place
in
only
small,
Gideon
quiet
can
places.
meet with you.
I'm just sorry it took my superiors so long to respond to your request.
I'm afraid there aren't many priests in this sector of space.
She said 9 years since she took command. So we're talking, she takes command. The 1 year was season 5, right? And then 5 years to Crusade. So that would have been 6. And then Crusade
was going to take 5 years.
Was going to take 5 years. But I've also heard, Jeff, now this is speculation, that they were actually going to solve the plague by year 2 or 3.
I've heard the
and
same.
then move on with something else. So this could have been plague. So we would be right there at plague freshly abolished. However, the most important piece of this, Gideon and her have done got it on.
Yeah, at least. Yeah. I mean, I almost worry about the priest where he's sitting. I hope she put a towel down.
Oh my gosh. Family friendly show, Jeff. Family friendly show.
I'm just saying it's important to be clean. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, nobody likes having dirty feet on their couches.
Exactly. Look at her rank thing. That's totally different.
I don't. She's got a solid yellow bar all the way across.
Her rank up here. So it used to be like that gold piece, and then there was like 2 other little gold slabs. Now she's got like the captain, the colonel, right? She's got the bird there, like the captain would, like a captain would have.
Sure.
I think that looks good.
Yeah.
We have more important matters to discuss.
And those matters would be?
My removal from this flesh. Get to it. Or leave.
Uh-oh.
Let me get this straight.
Is he trapped?
You want to be exorcised.
Cast out. Yes. We were bound here among the stars long ago. Bound to remain. And bound to possess.
Bound by
legend.
Here we go.
That's a good
we
question.
Cannot speak the name.
Music here
Are
is
you
incredible.
saying that God himself bound you to this part of space? Why? Why would God do that?
Becoming yourselves creators of worlds, whence comes the desire to crawl on bended knees for salvation.
He's mirroring exactly what
Where can be
Priest
heard
was
the
saying
cry
earlier.
of
This
the
is good.
terrified and the lost, raised in the hope of heaven and the intercession of divine providence.
Jeff, this is incredible writing right now.
Nowhere.
And acting, this is deeply
Before
compelling.
there can be hope, there first must be fear. Before man can seek salvation, there must be the smell of damnation.
Oh, look at that. Such great.
There must be a reason to reawaken the love of God. But in the absence of humility, that reason is the fear of hell. The terror of we who fell and walk among you still. Man sought his God in the stars and found only silence. But if the hand of darkness can be found, does that not imply its opposite?
Sorry, I need a moment to think about that.
There's a lot to digest.
Man went to the heavens, i.e. space, and found nothing but silence. Going back to their conversation earlier, lost their faith in God. But if they could find the hand of evil or the hand of whatever, darkness, then that would imply that the opposite is also there. So that by finding the darkness, you actually find the light.
Yeah. I'm just so impressed. And it's like, especially coming off last week, it's just like mother of God. This is such a different, we're playing a different game. This is a whole different level.
This is something like, I want the script. So I can read this and, because JMS is saying something here.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no way I'm capturing this on my first watch.
Especially
There's no
because
way.
Father Cassidy literally said all this from one perspective. And then Asmodeus or Asmodeus is saying it from the other perspective, the exact same, like this is the thing, and exploring it. Wasn't like, for when we get into the conversation later, wasn't Asmodeus, is that Book of Solomon? Wasn't he the demon in Solomon?
I'm unfamiliar with that name. I've never heard that.
Really?
Name.
Okay. Or maybe I'm thinking of a movie or something, but I feel like it's...
Hey, there was Amadeus. But that was about Mozart.
It was.
Colonel, we're getting an unusual energy
Colonel?
spike. Where is it? Unknown. We're
Colonel?
tracing it now, but we...
That's interesting.
CNC, do you receive?
He's like, you want to see special powers? Father, that's what you said. Here you go.
Did he just blow himself up?
Blue 32. That's his cell.
Do you think it's real fire? Not, we know it's CG, but within the concept of the thing, is this actual fire or is this all, oh my word? Because they would be feeling the heat and burning right now if this was real.
Fire was a little ridiculous looking. He looked great.
Well, that's all him. That's not the production. That's him.
Well, like
he
with
made
the
it
lighting,
looking.
the eyes, everything. Like
everything. Oh yeah.
Everything's coming together.
You and your church will continue to become more irrelevant with every passing day. If you leave us here
And allow the world outside to know that we are here, you and your order will again be needed.
necessary.
Dangling that power, that relevance.
You will no longer wake in the middle of the night and wonder.
And he's tempted.
Why am I here?
Look at that.
You will know. Because we will be here.
To define.
Uh-oh. We will be here to define you.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. This was like an hour and a half long. I could watch those two do this for an hour and a half.
This is incredible so far.
Yeah.
This is absolutely freaking incredible so far.
I'll totally say this later on, but I'm like, knowing that this is possible within the world of Babylon 5 makes me wish not that we have more Babylon 5 now, because I don't like the way we make TV now. At this moment when they made this, like, I want all of this. I think this is JMS's manifesto on faith and religion. Like, this is everything he's had just compiled.
And I love that, you know, given his history with the church and his personal beliefs, that he doesn't just take every opportunity to crap all over it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he's examining this.
Exactly.
Doing that sci-fi thing and posing the situation.
And he's not downplaying or making fun of anybody of faith. Like, he's giving credence to and legitimacy to why they would believe what they believe. Like,
computer.
I love that.
Access
and why they would
status of
lose
prisoner
that
in Blue
faith.
32. The day will come when the last of us leave Earth behind for other worlds, because we know that another day will come, a far-off, distant day, when the sun will burn out in a final blaze. The sky will go black, the seas will boil, the ground will turn to ash, consumed by a brilliant light. Any of this sounding familiar to you? And on that day, trapped on Earth with no escape, you and your kind will at last come to an end. But the heavens will remain, and so will we. A new start, a new universe, a new dream. And you don't belong in that dream.
She's got vitriol in that. Like, that is from her.
Well, she figured it out. She's taken back command. You called it. This is Sinclair. This is Sheridan. Mm-hmm. She is on that level right now with what she's doing.
100%.
And she is phenomenal. Jeff, I want you to put yourself into the real world for a moment and put yourself in Tracy Scoggins' shoes.
Yeah.
You get the script. You're flipping through, and then you see this monologue.
I've got 4.5 pages of my monologue right here. You know what I'm thinking? You know what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
This is the moment that I decided to be. This is why I'm an actor. This right here, right now.
This is the best Tracy Scoggins work you and I have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
It might be the best she's ever had. I don't know her other properties, but God, I don't know how she is going to top this.
She's acting her ass off right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
It just makes me like question, and I know there was stuff around it, but like, we've seen Lochely now, you know, for how do people not like her?
Well, so here's what, and I wrote this down. So remind me to talk about it when we get to the other piece. But because JMS wisely and rightly kept Lochely in place and has continued to feature her, she is now well beyond the replacement for Ivanova.
Mm-hmm.
If you're only watching Contained to season 5 of Babylon 5, she is only the replacement for Ivanova in the what, Jeff? 9 episodes she was actually in? 12 episodes she was actually in? You know, but she's so much more than that. Now she's a full-on realized character who actually is leading something here. Like,
and I love here where she's acknowledging the, I don't want to say supernatural, but supernatural, situation that's here, but also really just treating him like another life form. Here's what happened to you. Here's where you're exiled. This is what's going down.
Here's where you've been lying to us, and here's what's about to happen to you. And on that same point, Jeff, when you and I go back through and we hit season 5, whatever that pilot episode is, and she comes back in the show, you and I are not going to see season 5 Lochely. We're going to see this Lochely. When we're watching her there, we're thinking this is the Lochely we're thinking of, and we're going to love her so much more.
I can't wait.
So much more, because that's the way it works. We're going to see Sheridan. We're going to see Bruce Boxleitner, season 5, bearded goat Sheridan, when we see him crop up in season 2, episode 1, Points of Departure.
Absolutely.
We're going to see Valen, Michael O'Hare as that character from season 1, not whatever he was in that season. That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Because we now know. All right, we got to get back
what
into
they
this.
become.
Oh my gosh, we got to get back into this. I really hope his mouth doesn't become deformed and like do that thing.
We will.
Did you see? Oh my gosh, Jeff. Look at the stank on her face when she turns around and like turns away from him.
A new start.
Oh my God.
Universe. A new dream. A new.
God, she's so good.
You don't belong in that dream.
Last ditch effort to scare her or do something, and she just turns around and is like,
Remember you.
I hope
you do. Yeah.
I'll be here.
Yeah, there you go.
He just watched Lochely do that, and he's questioning his priestly vows right now.
Right?
President Sheridan once said that with Babylon 5, he would draw a line against the darkness. He was righter than he knew. Oh, crap. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. It's just that Sheridan's supposed to call me any minute, and I've got to go take it. You can take it from here, right?
I can. Colonel,
Still.
if you ever decide to look for another line of work,
It's a good name for her.
we could use someone like you.
Yeah? You think I'm religious enough?
No, and that's the point.
It's
You'll do.
I'm here because this is my home now. And because when the darkness comes, it's good to know you're standing in the one place where the lights are always on.
Until they blow it up.
right.
I got to tell you, the station it looks like a real place right there.
It does.
Are we, wait, is this a new story?
It must be.
That closed. That was the end of a story.
I think
So
you're
is that
right. I
right?
think this is going to be
Is that right?
anthology. I think so. And also we're telling stories from between objects at rest and sleeping in light. So we're going to share it this
Well
time
deserved,
so
my
far.
friend. Well deserved.
That's our best high five ever.
All right. Okay. Can we take a moment and just breathe?
Yeah.
Cleanse a palate here. Not cleanse a palate, but just
Yeah. I don't want to dive into it because I want to talk about it in the thing. But
Yeah.
I mean, just as a point of stuff, I have more notes on that than I did in all of Legend of the Rangers.
I believe that. And we're not even halfway through. Oh my gosh, that's
It's literally that was a story. That was a 15-minute story stretched to about 43 minutes. And I could do with another 43 minutes of it. Incredible.
dude, the way Tracy Scoggins carried that whole thing, and whoever it was that they picked as the other two actors there. Oh my God. I mean, oh my gosh. This is on the level of Intersections in Real Time. Like it's on that kind of a level. Like, oh my word. Maybe better.
Yeah, it might be even more. Like, I don't want it's different, but like that was 2 characters that carried that whole episode. This was 3 characters. But the thing is, 2 of these characters, we got nothing. Like in Intersections in Real Time, we had all the history with Sheridan and we understood that other dude was part of the Clark regime. So like we came in with some stuff. All I know is that Simon Burke took leave 2 months ago. That's all I know about him. He's been on B5 for 4 years.
Right.
And like for him, they just filled so much space.
I gotta tell you, Jeff, on my personal rewatches, I hit Sleeping in Light. I'll watch in the beginning. I'll probably start watching in the beginning prior to everything because I'll go chronologically from now on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll do in the beginning, I'll get to Sleeping in Light, and hell, I might even this film will be a part of my rewatch. I may skip Crusade, I may skip most of the other movies, but this film to me is as vital and as much of a part of the show as any other of the episodes that are out there.
I agree.
Oh my word. And this second one, whatever this is, we're getting ready to get into.
This is what I'm hoping. A little mini prediction. Evidence from last week notwithstanding, they're going to look at that first story, and they're not going to put a dud after it. Like, you don't put that out and then follow it with like, this is either incredible, or someone needs to get fired.
Well, I'm going to tell you, what's about to happen, right?
We're going to see Sheridan and Delenn.
We're about to see Sheridan. I don't know if Delenn, but we're 100% going to see Sheridan. I hope we see
I think
Delenn.
This came out in 2007, I think.
Yeah.
And didn't Mira die?
Still
It was
around?
like, she died in like
she was
later
in the
teens.
She was in the teens, I think. Yeah. So I would love to see Sheridan and Delenn.
I know.
Okay, let's go.
I'm like,
are you? Are you ready?
I am. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Also, if we were just watching this, we wouldn't have time to stop to be ready. It just keeps going.
Here we go.
Be right there.
Looking all presidential.
Dude, he is. Wowzer.
He's got Akin beard going on.
And that's for real. That's not like made up that we saw in Sleeping in Light. Like,
Mr. President, the ISN reporter is asking to see you again.
Tell her I'm dead and throw her down the stairs.
Sir?
All right.
Ivanova would have got that.
Let her in.
Because sometimes it's the details, the small picture, that can change the future.
Mr. President?
Is there a problem?
it's her. It's Janet. It's Dr. Fraser.
It's Janet Fraser, right?
It's Dr. Fraser. Not Terry Farrell. Terry Rothwell.
Oh my God. Hold on. We gotta go back a little bit. I gotta watch this. Oh my God.
It's her, dude.
It is. I love Dr. Fraser.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is so cool.
Our worlds are colliding, Jeff.
Right? Oh my God.
If you know what we're freaking out about now, go check out our Stargate SG-1 for the first time show.
You don't like reporters, do you?
Of course I do. Properly cooked. It's Pomeroy humor. I just got back from a state visit to their homeworld. Now, if I had said that there, they would be laughing for days.
Mr. President,
Actually, all their jokes end with properly cooked. They just scream. Even their cat jokes. I don't understand it, but it seems to make them happy, so who am I to...
So how does it feel coming back to Babylon 5 after all this time, Mr. President?
I didn't realize the interview had started.
Mm-hmm.
She had to take the bull by the
Where's
horns,
your
man.
camera?
Right here. My director said it would help make
Hey,
sure that
eyes are up
people
here,
look at
pal.
the camera alone.
Looking at the camera. Oh,
What'd she say?
So,
I know there's something there.
you missed that, right? Yeah, probably because I was talking. She's like, it's right here. The director wanted to make sure that people were looking at the camera.
A lot, right? Yeah. That's so good.
That's so wrong. That's so wrong. Men are disgusting. All right, let's go.
When people laugh, sometimes they laugh from a little back in the mouth. You know, that kind of fake laugh? Orlando, he would laugh from the bottom of his shoes up. Yeah, I hear he doesn't laugh much anymore.
He's forgetting
No,
how
he
to
won't
dance.
be attending. We will be picking up Prince Vintari on the way.
Oh, I think he remembers. He just doesn't know. He just can't do it right now.
Can't.
Or he'll get in trouble.
and Citizen Jakar?
I hate calling him that.
He's out there somewhere, beyond the rim.
So he's out with Lita. No.
No.
This is after
And you know what that is?
he did.
No, Andreas has passed away by this point.
That's probably why they put his voiceover in the open just to have him included, which
Yeah.
is pretty beautiful.
Yeah. All right, Andreas.
But the problem isn't that I only give 2 interviews a year, Miss Chamber. The problem is that so few reporters ever seem to come back for seconds. Was that a new dress?
Was that a new dress? There's not anymore.
Right? Oh man.
Dude, that looks like a bird of prey.
Right? It reminds me of Hawk's chip from Buck Rogers.
Right?
It's like it's an important one. Same shot we got with Lochely, laying down inside. Going,
Galen? This again? We saw this in Call to Arms.
Look
It is
familiar?
Galen.
No? Of course. My mistake. The black dust, you see. It hides stars and moon, clouds and sky, hope and pity, despair and... Here, I'll fix it.
Color. We're suddenly in Oz.
Right.
I was gonna say, if he opens his eyes and he sees Munchkin Land, I'm gonna trip, man.
As long as he sings, we'll be good.
I just want to see the Lollipop Guild.
Get out of the room! What do you think you are doing? Outside!
Up yours!
He had a taxi cab driver with an Indian accent.
This
My gosh.
is what was.
Okay, are they supposed to be wherever they are, like live right now, seeing what's happening, or is this some event that happened in the past that they're seeing?
I think this is in the past because he took him to how it is now, just to ruin. He's like, let's take you back to what it used to be.
This was not a dream. Do you hear me? This was not...
I hear you.
You will be visited by 3 ghosts.
I hear you.
You are known to us all as a nexus, where others doubt.
Nexus.
You believe what you see when we speak to you. No, I came all this way to show you this because nothing can be done. Because I like the way your pupils dilate in the presence of total planetary Armageddon. Yes, it can be stopped.
Duh.
Right.
How?
Oh, President Sheridan, I would have thought that that would be eminently obvious. All you have to do
Is kill the kid.
Kill Prince Ventari.
Boo-boo.
Spoo.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, it's
Spoo.
your favorite food. I've only tasted it, but I call it
Spoo.
other gray meat.
President Sheridan,
Oh, once again, we have extras that are not allowed to
Prince
talk.
Dios Ventari.
Right.
It is an honor to meet you.
Is that Zac Efron?
And you.
Okay, so this is an interesting thing. He's just had this encounter with Galen, and he's told him who this guy is going to become. But he's told him, you can change the future.
Uh-huh.
Okay, here's the Star Trek. I'm going to Star Trek this one for a second. Well, if we can change the future and that future is not set, then guess what? It's also not set that this guy's going to go be the catalyst of all that either.
Well,
So
I'll take it a little more even specific. He says the way to stop this is kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other way to stop it is, hey, show him Earth's not so bad, right? Bring him. It's almost like in Timeless when they met
Rittenhouse.
dude, huh?
Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse. Yeah, when they met Rittenhouse and he had the kid, right? And like he was going to kill him. Oh, Flynn's like, I got to kill him. I got to get him. And it's like, no, just change history by changing his mind, which they should have done. But
Or he goes and tries to change his mind, and that actually is the thing that makes him realize that Earth needs to be taken out. And so now this is the causality loop that turns him into that. And it was actually started by Galen. Or if Galen wouldn't have said anything, then we'd have been cool.
everything would have been fine.
Yeah.
Galen's the one who destroyed Earth.
Yeah. That's why he was all gritty.
He's like, I want Earth destroyed.
Right.
I've known Veer for a very long time. He's a good man.
He murdered my father.
Oh.
And he will be emperor. Oh, that's Cartagia's kid.
That's the
Nope.
rumor.
No, so in the Legions of Fire book, it's been a while, so I don't remember his name, but there's this character who becomes the prime minister, and he is just bad dude, super evil guy. And he is, like, the Drakh don't even have to put a keeper on him. He's just doing the stuff they want. He's not even telling him. He's just, like, naturally wanting to do the awful things they want to do. And they're kind of influencing it a little bit, but Veer and his legions were the ones who actually it was his wife, Londo's third wife, who actually I think ultimately killed him.
Well, he just said it's the rumor, but hear me out. Also, could be Cartagia's kid.
Could be. Okay, yeah. Oh, which is why he's giving off the Cartagia vibes.
Could be.
Duh.
Could be.
He said, I would trust Sheridan with my life.
Well, that's...
Then he corrected himself and said he would trust you with my life because he had plans for next week. Then he left the room laughing.
It sounds like Londo.
That's Londo. Yep.
Oh, he always did have a sense of humor. Yeah.
For a second to break down what literally just happened was, hi, Prince, my name's the president. I'm President John Sheridan of the Israel Alliance. He's like, good to meet you. The guy who's about to be emperor, I hate him and I'm going to make his life hell. But wow, the tentacles on this guy.
There will be a reckoning the likes of which has not been seen since the early days of the Republic. And that will be just the beginning.
Why am I telling you all of this?
He's trying to do the accent.
It will be nice to sleep without a knife beside my bed for a change. To know that I am safe here with you.
BTE.
That's gonna make him feel guilty. I don't know what Galen gave him, but I'm just sitting here thinking, just space him.
Right? Hey, Ventari, let me show you this thing over here.
Going at your end, Colonel.
Conquering hero coming home on the airborne stallion.
It was a white star, not a
I think I'm about to be
Starfury.
ill.
Come on. It would really mean a lot to the people who've shown up.
So, any of the old gang coming in?
Capture.
There's chemistry, right?
For the very first time, I could see them actually having had a former relationship.
Yeah. When he called her
She
Elizabeth.
pulled that string. No, but she's like, come on, John. Like, it would mean so much to them. Like, that's the first time I've seen any hint that they possibly could have had a former relationship and maybe believed it, you know?
And have any level of chemistry between the two of them at all.
Right. Although, in no way, shape, or form does that take away from the greatest thing that ever came out of their relationship, quote unquote relationship, the line that happened in Crusade between Gideon and Lochely.
He does like to be her to be underneath.
Uh-huh.
So, or likes her to be. Yeah.
Dr. Franklin went with Jakar exploring beyond the rim. You know how he is.
Oh.
Is Richard Biggs dead too? And he passed away?
Oh. Yeah, I think so.
That's too bad. I'll miss him.
Folks in the chat, let me know.
You,
hold on.
looking
Oh my
tired,
God.
Elizabeth. Is everything?
Like, he's like, it's too bad. I'll miss him. And then we just got this.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like if you know, you
Moment
know,
of silence.
sort of a thing.
A moment of silence. Yeah.
That's so sad. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah.
My agents aboard Babylon 5 will ensure a slight technical malfunction in your ship's weapons systems. The moment your ship achieves a speed of, say, 5,000 kilometers an hour,
that's going to be speed.
the system will short circuit and fire.
Can't go this fast.
In the course of this terrible accident, his ship will be struck and...
Already stupid. Stupid.
If I'm Sheridan, there is no way I'm going to let you use this excuse of the ship I was in malfunction to shoot that guy over there.
Yeah, no way.
I mean, this is like guys going hunting and, I accidentally shot the guy that I was hunting with. And it's the vice president of the United States of America. Like
vice president of the...
Or that's what I meant. What did I say?
Did you say vice president? Man,
I said vice president. I think I said vice president.
Probably, yeah.
I'm glad that you caught that reference, but like, no, there is no way. Listen, we're going to take this guy out. Fine. You're not doing it this way because that's dumb. And do you have any idea what the press and what public sentiment is going to do if that actually is what happens?
Well, and here's the thing. Like, if you're going to take the time to sabotage or whatever Sheridan's ship, why don't you just do that to Ventari's ship and have it blow up? Like, what?
That one I would go along with. That one I would go along with, as long as it didn't get me. Like, but you're not going to have my ship malfunction and shoot him out of the sky. No.
Well, here's the scene. This is what we're going to see. What do you say? 5,000 whatevers is how fast they're going to go. He's going to make sure I don't go any faster than 49.95. I'm going to stop this thing from happening.
He's going to give, in something that's going that fast, he's going to give himself a 5 kph buffer.
Yeah, because he's Sheridan. Yeah, plenty.
Well, I assume you're up to date on how to pilot one of these things.
I could fly it in my sleep.
Well, you wouldn't be the first.
Get it?
How does she feel?
Magnificent.
Now, wait, why are they
This is what it's
sitting?
like to ride a ship
I thought you're not supposed to be sitting in these things.
Minus the part where they're shooting at you. Increase our speed slowly. 5,000 kph.
It actually might be the best looking Starfury I've ever seen too.
I was just say, it looks amazing. Seeing them in the cockpit in it.
Even the practical cockpit set looks great.
You've done your homework.
So much better.
Handle that fighter like you've done it before.
I have.
What if he's going to shoot Sheridan?
In a dream, commanding a fleet against our enemies.
The Drock
raining fire
influence through dreams.
Whole cities burning.
Keep weapons online.
I do not believe Sheridan's going to do this.
4K7.
It was an accident. I tell you it was an accident. I didn't know the weapon system was live.
Isn't it recording you right now?
I didn't know.
Or did he stop recording?
4K8.
There are ways.
There are ways.
I heard that. I heard that too.
Ways.
You fired your forward thrusters. Are you all right?
I like how he turned around to look at
Fine.
him.
Right.
Fine. Besides, I'm not a kid anymore. I don't need to be hot dogging around the galaxy.
Hot dogging.
Do you mind if I?
Hot
By all
dog.
means, indulge yourself.
What happens if he
Cool, so wait-
shoots Sheridan? That's the
Then-
twist.
Then
he
the
turns around
IA
and
goes
shoots
to
Sheridan now.
Yeah, they go to war with Centauri Prime. and he
We've
gets
never
his wish.
seen an engine like that on a Starfury. He's gonna
I like the
crash
setup
it.
though, like using that setup, like they were able to like face to face have a conversation with each other in the Starfuries. That was
Yeah.
cool.
That
He let
was
him be a
amazing.
kid, treating
We
him with
must do it
kindness.
again. I haven't had that much fun since I don't even remember.
Ah, you look great.
You too. Colonel Lochely,
Oh,
Prince Regent Ventari of the Centauri Republic.
I'm a married man.
Thank you.
So everyone's waiting for you. You ready to go over to the party?
And Lockley, as far as we know, has herself a dude.
But why don't you go ahead? I'll be right there. Just want to, savor the moment.
theory. That's why she's colonel. So when they're together, it's just not two people screaming, "Oh, Captain, my Captain."
My word.
So dumb.
Oh my, yes, you are.
Of course. Delenn and I will try to show him another way of looking at things. Maybe we can help him, change him, and avoid that future that you showed me.
And if you can't?
Then I'll take care of it.
What if he had
When
blown it up?
and if
They'd have war
I
anyway.
decide there's no other way. One other thing.
Want war?
Atari
with the
said that he
Alliance.
had a dream. He was in that Starfury, and that something wonderful was going to happen. That was your work, wasn't it?
I say that we are surrounded on all sides by mysteries, President Sheridan. And mysteries once solved are never quite as interesting, are they?
And I like to be interesting. You know what I love about both these stories?
What's that?
They use like 3 people. There's almost no cast, but they feel so full.
Here we go again.
What we've got here feels very, very different from the conversation that Sheridan had at the beginning with
10 years.
the reporter.
Babylon 5 is a place of beginnings and endings. I wonder which this will be.
Babylon 5. Did you hear what he said? I talked over it. Did you hear what he said?
No, you talked over it.
I'm sorry. He said Babylon 5 is a place of beginnings and endings. I wonder which this will be.
Oh.
I'm so sorry I stole that moment from you because that's such a great way to end that.
Well, they say everybody's ending is some other beginning's end or something like that. But all right, Brent.
Yeah.
We just watched The Lost Tales, 2 stories in one. We just watched it for the first time. Why don't you kick this off? What did you think?
Jeff, this is going to be hard, I think, to discuss this because we literally have 2 very distinct, very separate stories. This is not one thing, you know. I loved this.
Yeah.
Every single second of it. I love this. I said during the recording, and I want to repeat it here, on my future rewatches of Babylon 5, I don't know that I'm going to watch every single little movie and all of Crusade and all of these things again. This will be a part of my rewatch, though, from now on, because this was so good in every way, shape, and form. The 2 principals here, I mean, not just the 2 principals, everybody was acting their butts off. The kid that was playing the Centauri in the second one was doing so good. So good. And I don't know what to think of him. I don't know what to think of him. But I mean, the standout has to be the first story with Lochely and the priest and the demon dude. Like that has to be the standout piece here. Sheridan getting confronted with an impossible thing, almost pulling the trigger, which I feel like we saw that coming, and I was going, there's no way he's going to do it. There's no way he's going to do it. Only to find out the different answer. And literally the answer is like, well, I'm going to bring him into my house.
Yeah. But
I'm going to bring this kid who's supposed to destroy us into our house so that I can try to change it. Jeff, if I didn't know better, I would have sworn we were watching Star Trek.
Ooh, really?
I'm just saying. But I'm going to say they did it so good here. And I'm not saying it's a Star Trek message at all, but these 2 stories, but specifically the second one now, is precisely why sci-fi, more than any other genre, is uniquely positioned to be a genre that explores and discusses morality and situations and holding up a mirror to society and showing us how we can be better in the future and better human beings to one another.
Absolutely.
You know? So, yeah, I've thoroughly loved both of these. I think I liked the first one a little bit better, but I'm taking them both. So how about you, Jeff?
Oh yeah, same. This, we talked about Sleeping in Light. We talked about that being the culmination of everything Babylon 5. Like, you know, it all came together in that moment.
Yeah.
And absolutely it did. What this did though, is that took the totality of the story of the characters of Babylon 5. That's what Sleeping in Light was. This, using just a handful of characters, showed us the culmination of the world of Babylon 5. Like you said, both of these were just interesting stories that were constructed to deliver messages.
Yep.
Like, and in a way that was amazing. I made the comment during our watch, but like, I don't want new Babylon 5 now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't want new Babylon 5 in 2002 when Legend of the Rangers came out. God, I don't want that series like so badly.
Right.
I want it here at this moment when Lost Tales came out. Everything was firing. It was gorgeous. I mean, things looked amazing. The acting, the stories, the music, everything was peak. This was like, because I believe this came out in 2007. So, I mean, here we are almost a decade from the end of the Babylon 5 proper, and it didn't skip a beat. You know, it's just like, oh, hey, upgrade, continue.
No,
now, if they made
everything. I'm sorry, Jeff. Can I? Everything about this felt like an upgrade.
Everything.
The writing, the acting, the production, the every bit of this felt like an upgrade over everything we've seen before.
It's almost like, and I don't. I'm going to say this, and people are going to hear me disparaging the series of Babylon 5, and I am not. But this is the moment where they're like, hey, we're not going to make mistakes. We're going to show up as professionals, and we're going to do what we do. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that the proper was like a training ground, but also it was a training ground.
Yeah.
And that's where it makes me think, like, if this had become a new series or a continuing series back at this time frame, it would have been amazing. Now we make TV in a way that would suck for Babylon 5. We'd get one story over 10, 13 episodes, and then the next. We wouldn't get all the cool moments that make Babylon 5 so amazing. And what I, like, as I'm saying this, what I loved so much was how first story had three characters. The second one had like 5. And really had 3 between Sheridan, Galen, and Ventari. But there was so much character in all of that. I never felt like we were limited on characters or actors. We've thrown this word around a couple of times during our watch of Babylon 5, but Brent, this was perfect. I mean, the only thing they couldn't have done, but the only thing I can imagine that would have made this better, oh God, I'm going to say it and then I'll come back around because I think they actually did it perfectly. The only thing that could have made it better is if more of the original cast was still alive and available to be here.
Yeah.
And they addressed that in the most perfect, beautiful way possible.
Yep. Even down to the moment of silence.
Yeah.
A full moment of silence for our missing comrades, our fallen comrades.
I'll miss them. And then just him staring in silence. And to tie that, you know, into the other episode too, like what we heard in the first episode was an examination. I believe that first episode, that first story was JMS's manifesto on faith and religion and was done really well. But one of the things he talked about was the silence that exists in space and how people see that and it chisels at their faith. But what we saw in that second episode was that silence could be the most powerful thing imaginable. All we got nothing for like 30 seconds, and I was moved to almost tears.
Yeah.
By nothing, because that nothing was everything. Yeah, this was so good.
That first episode specifically deserves multiple rewatches and examinations to examine the opening conversation that was had between the priest and Lochely to examine that conversation about faith and where does your faith lie? Are you a person of faith? He asks her, and she stumbles around it a lot. Yeah. And they talk about how humanity has lost its faith and what that looks like, and where it very much sets the scene of, okay, this is where we are. And then you go into the second part where they're talking to Amadeus,
Asmodeus, or Asmodeus.
Yeah, whatever that is. They're talking to him, and basically he's like, yeah, the whole center section of this is how people get their faith back. I'm going to help you get your faith back and help all of this happen, to the point of going, and then you ask the question, but where is the lie? Well, it's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's in there somewhere. We just got to find it. And then to watch her, like, just the structure of how that goes. Nope, this was never about helping people find faith. This was just you trying to escape your confinement. That's all it was. And we caught you, and now we're going to send you back to the Phantom Zone, away with you.
And the storytelling mechanism they used for it was perfect, because it wasn't like she was laying in bed and had a thought and did a little research and came up with this out of left field thing.
Yeah.
The answer was already given, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were exiled to the stars. We were bound to the stars.
Yeah.
It was all there right in front of us. She just put the pieces together in a way that I wasn't able to in the moment. And then when she laid it out, you're just like, oh my God, it's so obvious. There it is.
A couple of notes. Shall we do I guess we need to focus on each story individually.
Yeah. Let's do the first
for
story.
a few moments. Just for a few moments. So you want to do the first story first?
I think, yeah, because we're already kind of skirting on.
Jeff could not have picked a better opening to draw people like you and me in. To start with the explosion of Babylon 5 and then go backwards, and to hear the overlay of Jakar and all of those phrases that we know from the series.
What was that moment? Was the line? I think it was Objects at Rest. It might have been In Motion, but I think it was at Rest when Sheridan and Jakar are talking. It's like, I'm going to miss you. And they're like, yeah, as I walk these halls, our conversations live forever.
Yeah.
You know, Jakar gave that piece, and like, that was a powerful line when it was stated, but to see it there as the station is exploding and as they're turning the clock back was just like, gave me chills.
Just real quick on Lochely. I think we mentioned this. I am so glad that she has gotten her due well beyond just being the season 5 replacement for Ivanova.
Quote unquote replacement for Ivanova.
Well, but when she came in, that's all she was. That's all we saw her as. Was the season. She's nothing more than a season 5 replacement, and she's not even in most of the episodes.
Well, we tried. You know, I think we did a good job and tried to not see her as that, and wanted to see her stand on her own merit. And we didn't until she started showing up for Garibaldi. In like her second to last episode. You know, it's like, oh, okay, cool. This is why she's here.
That justifies
That's
her
great.
entire existence, and it was great. Yeah.
But then through the films, we've gotten so much more that culminated in this moment. I made the comment
And
we
Crusade,
were watching.
and what she got in Crusade.
Oh, exactly.
You know?
The whole thing.
Yeah.
And that culminated in me and the thing saying, I don't understand how anyone cannot like Lochely.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here's how they could. They only watched season 5.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I mentioned this, and I've learned enough about how people watch TV and where things go. As we go into our rewatch into Babylon 5 for the second time, you and I are going to look at Michael O'Hare as Valen.
Right.
We're going to look at Jakar as Citizen Jakar, as Prophet Jakar, or whatever. We're going to see Londo as this strong character, tragic yet strong character who comes through a crap. We're going to see that at the very beginning. We're going to know we're going to see these characters as they wind up, not as they are, which is why you can never go back for that first watch again. Exactly. But I'm so excited to go through and watch these things and be like, how could you think that Jakar is just some mean animal Klingon ripoff?
I know. We thought he was a lizard, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's obviously the bad guy.
Right. I love the camera work in this film.
Yeah, as I was just gonna say, it created that tent. Like we were in the room with them.
Did you see who directed it?
I did not.
JMS.
Really?
Now I don't know if he directed both of them, but I'm pretty sure I saw him directing at least that first one. So all that handy cam work where they're moving it around and doing all that sort of stuff, like, I mean, that's his director of photography, but still he's at the helm.
It's an interesting thing to think about because we through Crusade, were pretty hard on a couple of the episodes that were written by other people. You know, at that point, he'd given the writing reins to other folks. And I feel like, with a couple of exceptions, when JMS, in Babylon 5, I'm not talking about his other work that he's done, but in Babylon 5, when he's handed the reins to other people, things have gone sideways or not quite gone. They didn't reach their potential. You know, and so, you know, Janet Greek is a prolific director through the Babylon 5 series proper and did some really great things, but did so in the confines of what Babylon 5 was, you know. And then in this, he probably, I don't know what he did, but like when he's hands-on, when he's doing the writing, when he's doing the directing, when he's doing the stuff, it's his vision. Like, he makes it happen. And it's when he hands it off to others that things kind of fizzle. And so, like, I'm so thankful he had the reins on this one, because honestly, that time in the room with the three of them could have been so corny.
Right.
Like, if the directing wasn't great, if the acting wasn't up to where it needed to be. I mean, even you can take away the flourishes of the handy cam and put it there. It could still be great. It could still be good. But he added that piece that was great. And for me, the handy cam work, part of what made it even more unsettling was, it's like, I recognize the aesthetic of this space. Like, I am clearly on Babylon 5 and I know that, but it's different and wrong, and I don't feel like I belong here. It's just brilliant.
Lochely's a colonel now.
Yeah, that was interesting to me. They changed her on her epaulettes. They changed the thing, and she's got the colonel bird on there.
So this is 10 years, 9 years, whatever past where we saw her. Jeff, if she was still a captain after 9 years, she better have gotten a promotion, man.
The thing is, we've talked about the ranks before and how they don't necessarily make sense, but captain and colonel are the same rank. Navy to other things. They both have the full bird. Not this bird, but the one on the collar.
So I want to say this for the sake of our audio listening audience who did not see this happen during the reaction. Which I would encourage you guys, go over to our YouTube page and check out Jeff and mine's reaction to this, watching this as it happened in real time. What Amadeus, I've got to call him Amadeus. I'm not going to say the other word right.
Asmodeus.
Right.
Asmodeus.
There you go. He was talking, and we had to stop it for a moment and just take stock of what he was saying. He was saying, by going to space, humanity, we found silence. And in finding the silence, we lost our faith as a people. But in finding darkness, that will at least imply the opposite, the existence of light, aka God, that God also exists.
Yeah.
So interesting.
You were on point in that whole, leading into that whole section, because they're talking about doing the exorcism. And you were like, well, if there's an exorcism, that implies that demons are real. And if demons are real, that means angels are real. And if angels are real, that means God is real. And then he came in with almost that exact same thing of, well, if this is real, then this has to be real also.
Yeah. So interesting.
And I think it moves, like, it transcends religion, right? I think, you know, they used a Catholic priest as the device in this. And I think a lot of that was just because it's, when you think about being a Baptist, you don't necessarily think about the pastors doing exorcisms out there. But when you think about the Catholic Church, that's definitely a thing in the zeitgeist. So, and I don't see this as an examination of Catholicism. I don't even see it as an examination of Christianity. It's just replace God with higher power.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. And in most cases, people believe their higher power is good. And so you can lay this across any tapestry of belief and it still applies. And I think also, because they do the interrogation.
Right.
You know, why would God allow this to happen? I got upset in an episode of Crusade because they were asking this question, you know, if God is so all loving, you know, why would there be hunger and death and all this stuff? And I got really angry at how it was just felt sloppy. Yeah. And this was beautiful the way they did it, because they didn't answer the question, right? They just kind of put it out there, but they kind of did answer the question, because if there's evil, death, awful stuff, then there must also be good.
Good. Because how would you know evil if you didn't have something to compare it to?
Exactly. It's one of the things when people ask me, I'm sure you get asked this as well. A lot of people of faith, why do you believe?
Yeah.
And a big reason I believe is because when horrible things happen, there are good things that come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
People show up, they help.
Yeah.
You know, an advancement happens, a thing happens, and that couldn't happen. You know, good wouldn't come out of bad things if stuff was just sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was beautiful. This was so good.
I thought something was really, the father said faith, or maybe Lochely said this, faith allows you to believe in everything that reason says is impossible. Such a cool line. Such a cool line. But here's what I really noted coming out of that. Outside of the fact that this by far was Tracy Scoggins' best acting we've ever seen. And some of JMS's best writing across all his properties.
Agreed.
This,
From what
this
I've
first
seen.
one.
Yeah.
When we got to the end and Asmodeus.
Sure.
Sure.
Asmodeus. I think it said Asmodeus is how they said it.
Sure. Thing. He is trying to entice the priest to doing the exorcism.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, think about it. You do this, your pews are suddenly going to fill back up. You're going to be relevant again. All of this, he's just, it's, I'm thinking of the temptations of Christ kind of going through, like, let's show you all this stuff that you can have. But I'm sitting there thinking in the moment, and I'm sure there are people out there that say, yeah, this might not be the way it should be, but it is the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of those two reasons, full pews and the church being relevant, are reasons for the church to exist.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? That's not why that's not why the church is there. It does, whether you have one person in the pew or 1,000 people in the pews, that's not why you're there. You know what I mean? To simply just be relevant, to have relevance. Again, things get twisted because humans are a part of it. So in many cases throughout history, we can point to places where that was the motivating factor for those who were in power. But for the church itself, and I would venture to say this is not just the Christian church. This is across all various religions.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not why we should be doing what we do.
Exactly.
Which I think makes that an even bigger temptation. So, oh man, such an interesting thing.
It is.
As you say, JMS's manifesto on this.
Totally. And just, and again, like we've said it, and I feel like we're repeating, but it's this big of a deal. Acted to perfection.
So good.
I have no idea who the Simon Burke actor was. I don't know. I have no idea who played Father Cassidy. But Father Cassidy specifically, like when he was going through that temptation thing, like on his face, he never said it, but you could tell he was thinking about it.
Yeah.
He's like, God, he's right. You know, all I got to do is let this guy die and all these cool things are going to happen. It was just the slightest little facial acting. Man, yeah, this was great.
Yeah.
When it ended.
Yeah.
Oh, were you going to say something else about it?
No, go ahead.
When it ended, I made the comment that like this next story's got to be amazing because you don't follow that with a dud.
Yeah.
And I think I was right. The next story, I feel like it took a little while to tell what was going on.
It did. Mm-hmm.
But once it started moving, it was like, oh, okay. This is
because
good.
First you thought it was going to be an interview between Sheridan and Dr. Frazier.
Mm-hmm.
That's what so where it's going to be this interview and they're going to go and they're going to have some big, conversation back and forth that we're going to be just floored with. No, moment of crisis of morality.
Yeah,
for Captain or for President Sheridan. That's actually what it was.
I want to believe that the only reason that scene existed is because Babylon 5 wanted to up its credibility in the sci-fi world by having Dr. Janet Frazier on the show.
There you go. I love it. She had a camera on her boob. He's like, because the director wanted people to look at me or to look into the camera. I was like, that's funny. That's funny. Although the way they were sitting, the camera wasn't pointed at them. Do I know?
It's funny and it's horrible.
It is horrible.
Because it's true.
Yeah. But which is what makes it funny.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Bruce Boxleitner certainly looks like he has aged 10 years since he was in, and not with makeup. Like
he's sporting an Akin beard, much more trim, but his
voice is even, and not affected, not acted, but his voice is, that much more
matured.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly.
we got him and Galen together as I call it, Arms, that we got them together.
Mm-hmm.
And it was okay. They had a lot of time together here. I liked them together.
Yeah.
Like playing off of each other.
Mm-hmm. I didn't like Galen in this one.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, did
not
Galen
like Galen in this one?
Did you not like Galen, or did you not like the character of, you know what I mean? Like, was it that, Galen doesn't belong here?
No, you and I talked about this during the reaction. Something seemed to be up with Galen. Galen seemed to be taking this way more personally.
Agreed.
Than, hey, I'm coming in to help you out because I know where this goes. There was something, he was so angry, and so his teeth were clenched, and you could see the gaps between his teeth because his gums have receded. And he was so like forceful. This is not the Galen that we saw with Call to Arms or through 13 episodes of Crusade. There was something different. And the fact that it never really got addressed, we don't know what was wrong with Galen in this one, bothers me about this particular side. Although watching Sheridan go through the whole, he's going to commit this unspeakable act of allowing his, he was driving the Starfury. He'd get it up to 5,000, miles per hour or whatever. And that's going to kill this other kid because this kid's going to turn into a monster later, and he has the flashback and ways. There's ways we can do. Oh, so that means there's more than one. Now I don't have to do this bad thing that I was going to do, which I never thought he was going to do in the first place. But
although they did a good job making you think he might, like he was teetering.
Well, there is always the subverting expectations.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way I think he's going to do it. And they could do it just to, throw everybody off. Like,
the Galen stuff for me was colored by, we finished Crusade, and after we finished Crusade, our incredible community on our Discord shared some of the unpublished or unproduced scripts and storylines with us. And what we learned in that is really key is that the technomages derive their power and technology from shadow technology, like they're of and from the shadows. And so, like, that's what I was thinking. Like, when I saw Galen this time, and especially how he was showing up with so much aggression, in the whole, so much anger, it really made me question, honestly, his loyalty. Like, is this so? What I know from reading the Legions of Fire trilogy is that the Drakh, who were had Londo with the Keeper, and they were all over Centauri Prime, and were really steering the political direction. They were building up fleets for the sole purpose of attacking and destroying the Interstellar Alliance. Was this another way of like making sure? Either like, is Galen trying to set the stuff up? Hey, blow up his ship, because what I know that will do is give them more reason to it. Was he helping that Shadow and Drakh thing, or was he trying to stop it from happening? That's where I think his personal thing came in. Maybe he was conflicted, or maybe he just knew how horrible and evil things were going to be. Galen was even somewhat involved in the events that happened on Centauri Prime with the Drakh. And we got a little bit of a clip of that. So Prince Ventari talked about the dreams that he'd been having, about the future glory of Centauri Prime and him ascending the throne and him being in a Starfury. In those books, we learned that the Drakh use dreams to influence people. That's a shadow technology. Galen used the dream on Ventari. Is it the same shadow tech? So this is all stuff implied from other pieces and properties of this thing, but it helped add context to the thing. But on its own, I agree with you. It just seemed aggressive and weird.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we got a spoo shout out, Jeff.
We did get a spoo shout out.
We got a spoo shout out.
Which is great. But it was wild though. Yeah. That spoo shout out led to them, Sheridan and Ventari meeting. Dude, we got a glimpse at this kid's BTE. It's big tentacle energy. He's just like, yeah, I'm totally going to kill all you guys. Like, I'm going to become emperor and you guys suck and I'm going to destroy you. Nice to meet you, by the way. Wow.
Yeah. Big tentacle energy. As soon as you said that, like, I'm trying to picture like where the tentacles are, like under his vest, like how they're, Like how does that go? Like if you hug him, do you feel them?
I'm really glad that I was able to put that picture in your head.
Thank you for that. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. As a gift.
I appreciate that. Well, Jeff, with that, I think we have reached the part of the show where it's actually time to boil it all down and see if this movie, this film, this duo of episodes, I'm not really sure what we're going to call that, has any of those moral messages to it. The answer is yes. And is it holding up a mirror to society, giving us hope we can be better in the future? Is it showing us how to be better people to one another or something else along that nature? So, Jeff, I'll put it to you first, my friend. What messages did you pick out of this?
Quite a few, to be honest. Like there's a lot in this. Well, we talked about quite a few of them already, which is good. But I saw a message across the whole of both the stories.
Okay.
I think there was a singular through line that I also think is kind of one of the messages of Babylon 5 as a whole.
Yeah.
There are always options. It's not that there's a way, there are ways. We got that with Lochely, right? It's, hey, either we exercise him or we don't exercise him. And then she's like, no, there's another option. We got that with Sheridan. Either I kill him or I don't kill him. Nope, there's another option. I can do something else. And so I think that's the message of the Lost Tales right there. And then there's a numbers that spill out from there. There's the message of, do we do things because we want to or because we feel guilty if we don't? Details matter. The devil is in the details, and the details are the things that change the future. And the one I got out of the second one that I loved so much is just the power of kindness. Safe, showing someone they're safe and showing them kindness. Like, he may have changed the course of the galaxy just by being cool to this kid.
Because by the time he gets there, the shadows will, the Drock and all that, we understand that ends after Londo, right? Like,
yeah, they'll be long gone.
Yeah.
And they're gone after Londo because of Veer.
But there's nothing that says that the Centauri still won't go crazy later on.
Very true. And they have a real history of it.
Jeff, you have a little more knowledge into stuff that's going on because you've read a couple books that I haven't. I'm going to maintain this dude was Cartagia's kid.
I think so.
I think he's Cartagia's kid. I think that's who he's supposed to be. So
as I thought about it more, I thought he might have been this other dude's kid, but no, the timelines don't work. Yeah. He looked like Cartagia. He carried himself. He dressed like Cartagia.
How old do you think he was?
16.
Do Centauri age like humans?
I don't know.
Because if he was, let's say he was Cartagia's kid. My assumption is that Cartagia got somebody pregnant, and while that person was still pregnant is when Cartagia got killed. So this kid never actually grew up knowing his father. Okay. In my head, that's his backstory, right?
That makes sense.
So he'd only be actually about 10 years old in this case.
And
maybe 11. He actually might be 11 because where that happened. But he could have been born earlier. So
I might not be remembering this right. But one of the reasons Londo became emperor is because Cartagia didn't have any heirs.
Doesn't necessarily mean he didn't have any kids, though.
So I'm almost thinking the whole Game of Thrones thing of like, let's go find his bastards.
Yeah,
could have been others somewhere. But yeah, I'm gonna be on that with you. He's Cartagia's kid.
Yeah, I love the message though you point out. There's always another way.
Always another way. That started in Signs and Portents, right? Oh, so it blows up. Well, it's one possible future. And then throughout the whole series, we got that. Did you get any other messages in this one? Anything?
Well, here's one, and it's kind of along those same lines, but it's this: if you can change the future, then you can change the man. So work on the man, or person, I should say. Work on the person. If you want to change, if you really want to change the future, change people, because people are what make the future.
And Brent, how do you change people?
By loving them. Honoring them, and
it's by you doing the things.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. And so Sheridan's answer here is, I'm going to bring you into my household and train you up and show you what's the real going on here. Like,
I got a kid. You'll love him. Yeah. It's going to be a lot.
And
of fun.
You know what, Jeff? This is 100% on brand for Sheridan. And I'm gonna draw this connection. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this.
You're building it up.
I'm letting it rest. Dramatic pause right now, Jeff.
Silent.
I want you to go to the end of Garden of Gethsemane.
Okay.
Somebody killed Brother Edward. That person goes and get his lobotomy. Sheridan meets him, and he immediately wants to kill this dude.
Yeah, Brother Malcolm, I think it was. Right?
But it's not that dude anymore. If Brother Edward was not the person he was, but was now Brother Edward, then this guy in front of you, even though you know who he was, he is not that person anymore. And so you have to give him that same respect that you were giving to Brother Edward. And Sheridan, we saw him fight with that and then make a choice. And he extended his hand and shook his hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're seeing here. It's the same. It's the same Sheridan choice that we saw way back then.
Without the wrestling. He had to wrestle with it in that moment, but he's grown. He's learned since then. And so this is just who he is now. He
was just looking for a way out. He didn't want to do it the whole time. He was looking for a way out.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't do this, humanity is doomed. If I don't do this, here's my way out. And he took it. And he took it.
And it was such a simple thing.
Yeah.
Be yourself, John. Just be the person that you are and just be super cool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Which is the message too. Like I said, how do you change other people? By doing the things you want to see, but also like just be you.
Yeah.
Just be the real
you. Be you. Don't be somebody else. Just be you. Yeah. So,
what is it? Somebody says, if you ever have a choice between being, I don't know, Abraham Lincoln and yourself, always choose yourself because there's no one better to be.
Unless you can be Batman and then be Batman.
Always be Batman. But the thing is, you can be yourself and Batman. It worked well for Bruce Wayne.
There you go. There you go. Well, Jeff, with that, one of the things we do here at Babylon 5 for the first time, or whatever we're calling this show now, because it was Crusade. I guess we're back to Babylon 5 for the first time now. Yeah. We're developing our absolute, completely accurate and definitive ranking of the Babylon 5 movies. Although it's hard for me to qualify this as a movie, but we're going to qualify it as a movie. Our current top 5, our number 1 is In the Beginning. 2 is A Call to Arms. 3 is Third Space. 4 is River of Souls. 5 is The Gathering. And we're not even going to mention the name of what number 6 is.
No.
But Jeff, my question to you is, where do you place in this ranking The Lost Tales?
But there's only...
And I don't know if you've seen the note.
I have.
Okay.
And I agree. There is a single answer to this question, and there's everything else is dead wrong. This is number 1 by a long shot.
By far. By far.
Dramatic.
Yeah. This was better than In the Beginning. In the Beginning was a fine TV movie to get people caught up on what the heck's going on.
Yeah, bring people in.
It was a fun little romp all the way through. It fleshed out the whole Earth Minbari War and gave us all of that. It's fine. It was good.
It was great.
This was great. No, it was good. This was great.
I'd say that was great. This was awesome.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Yeah,
I'll go with that.
So good. Incredible.
I'll go with that.
Oh my God, Brent, we're done with The Lost Tales.
Yeah.
We talked about this a little bit before we really hit record on this thing, but next week we're watching the last new thing we haven't watched before. We're watching the final movie. It's animated, called The Road Home.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, Brent, we're going to be done with The First Time.
Yeah. I mean, we still have the wrap up to do.
Yeah, but like we don't have to watch anything we haven't watched. We will have seen it all.
I know.
Man.
I know.
So we have to mark this occasion somehow. I don't know how, but this is the last time we're going to play this game.
Yeah.
One of your favorite games out there where we guess what's going to happen in the next episode based. I'm like emotional. I'm having a hard time saying this. We guess what's going to happen in the next movie or episode based on the title alone. Make it count, Brent. Last time, what's The Road Home going to be about?
All right, Jeff, here's the thing. This is the only Babylon 5 property that was created during the time you and I have been doing this show.
Correct.
All right. I'm going to let everybody in on something that I've only told you before now. While they were in production leading up to The Road Home and the release of The Road Home, I was made aware that the kind of code name that they were using, because they hadn't released the name of it yet, was Babylon 5 TRH. TRH. And as soon as I heard that, I said, the title's The Road Home.
Really?
I said it. I knew that that's what it was. It was just boom. Can I prove it? No, because I'm telling you guys after the fact now, but I knew that was the title. And when you have something that has been so long, you have an animated feature that brings back the original cast. right? And you're going to call it The Road Home. There's literally only one thing it could possibly be about. This is a romp through the history of Babylon. We're going to go back, and this is going to be a time hopping movie where we revisit like the greatest hits of Babylon 5. Something's going to and we got to get back home. We're lost in time, and we got to get back home. That's all this can be to me.
So it's War Without End.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just bigger.
And animated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without having to watch, all those other episodes to make this one make sense. Oh my God. If Zathras is in this episode or in this movie, I'm going to lose it. Oh, I'm so hope Zathras is in this one.
What's his name? Tim Cho. Is he, I don't even know if he's still.
I don't know. But look, I mean, Andreas is look at all the actors who have passed beyond the rim.
I'm really curious. Like,
because they're all in it. All the characters are in it, from what I understand. So they have to get new voice actors to do these pieces, and it'll be interesting to see how they handle a different voice with these characters.
Yeah, I'm eager and nervous and excited to see how that plays out.
I say it's a time hop revisiting the greatest hits of Babylon 5. What do you say, Jeff?
I agree. I this is our last time. I'm going to do something we haven't done before. I'm going to have the same prediction as you. And I'm going to phrase it like this: War Without End across the totality of Babylon 5.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's, what else would you call it? And that's what that has to be.
We're going to find out next week just what it was. Thanks for hanging out. If you were on YouTube, you've been with us for quite a while. If you're on Patreon, you've been here almost 2.5 hours. Thanks for hanging out with us. This has been incredible. Really looking forward to next week. If you're on YouTube or a podcasting app or somewhere like that, please make sure you subscribe, because we have a lot of really cool and exciting stuff coming as we wrap this series up. We have so much more that we're going to do. I'm so excited about it.
The series is wrapping up. You and I are far from done, Jeff.
We're not even halfway through the possibilities of things that we're going to do.
Not at all.
So much in front of us. Our road home, we don't even have home defined yet. Like, it's just a road for us.
Right. And there'll still be lots of Babylon 5 to come too.
So much.
Yeah.
I can't. It's going to be great. Subscribe, like, rate, do those things. Please share this show with somebody else. That means the world to us when that happens. Brent, I'm going to sign off. We're going to call this a day. Until next time, everybody.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes. What's up?
Dude, it's been 2.5 hours of you and I sitting here recording. I'm starving. Can we go get something to eat?
Well, I have some stuff here. Bowen Mac came by. I've got his, I got a Spoo sandwich.
Spoo. Jeff, you know what they say about Spoo, don't you?
I do. It's the other gray meat.
Gross. But I have a question for you.
Okay.
If Spoo is the other gray meat, what's the first gray meat?
Shiitake mushrooms.
I mean, we're not some deep space franchise. This station is about something.
Because they make like the mushroom burger things, right? Like,
gotcha.
There's probably aren't shiitake. There's probably not shiitake mushrooms though. Some other kind of mushroom.
Whatever.